It's the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Interesting program coming up for the Evergreen Conservancy. Our conversation this morning with a couple of guys going to tell us all about it, presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Law Firm and Best Personal Injury Lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. You can visit them online at marcusandmack.com. So our good old friend Bob Lankert is in the studio with us this morning, and with him this morning is Game Commissioner Officer J.D. Walker. And gentlemen, it's good to have you both with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both here today. J.D., we're going to talk with you in a program that you're going to be putting on for chronic wasting disease, which is really a hot topic, especially when you get to this time of the year.
Yes, sir.
But first, Bob, you have something coming up that you want to make sure that folks know about as well.
Well, we're here today to talk about a program on Friday the 13th, but the following Saturday, the 14th, Evergreen Conservancy is coming back to do a litter cleanup at Blue Spruce Park. It'll be Blue Spruce Road and the road around the park. And it'll kick off at 9 o'clock in the morning, and people that want to volunteer should park near the office. And in times past, we've been finished in about an hour, so it won't be a big obligation. And Blue Spruce Road has traffic.
Sure does.
So we have orange vests for everybody. We have bags. We have gloves. And also wherever we'd be cleaning up trash, there's some rough terrain, and ticks are in the area, so people should dress accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is on the 14th, right?
That's on the 14th.
Yeah. When should people show up?
9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock in the morning. Very, very good. Wonderful. So that's on the 14th, but the night before, JD, you are involved in a program on chronic wasting disease. When we get to this time of the year, we really begin to focus upon that because people are looking at the deer herd, and they might see something a little bit off.
Yeah, correct. This is like hunting season getting ready to start. Dove and goose started this past Monday, so it's kind of the kickoff of the season. So deer have become a hot topic here in the last couple weeks. People putting their tree stands out, checking their cameras, doing their normal fall harvest prep. So it's a big topic, though, for chronic wasting disease in this county.
Yeah, and chronic waste disease has made its way into Indiana County.
It has. It's been around for a while here. It's been around since the 60s. Started out in Colorado, made its way into Bedford County when it first came into Pennsylvania. It's been in Indiana since I've been a game warden. Most recently, it's actually expanded due to a deer testing positive for chronic wasting disease with roadkill deer here in Indiana. So when that happens, they put a pin on that animal, and they put a 10-mile buffer around it on a map. And then the biologists come in, and they basically look at what roadways we can use that people can navigate so they know where this disease management area is. So it expanded a little bit this past year.
Yeah. So here in Indiana County, is it north, south, east, west?
Well, it's about all of it. It's probably 80% of this county is a disease management area, covering most of northern Indiana, comes in from Commodore, and then runs into Clymer, out to Brush Valley, down to Homer City, and it snakes its way out into Salzburg. So pretty much that old northwestern part, and then the southern part in Wildlife Management Unit 2C has also got some chronic wasting disease. So that's around Blairsville, Chestnut Ridge area.
So you're going to put on this program on Friday the 13th, and that'll be at Blue Spruce?
It will, yep.
At the lodge?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So what will people learn there? I'm sure that you had plenty of folks come up to you at the fair asking about it.
Fair. I love the fair. So many interesting questions. And chronic wasting disease was one of those. How to test their animal. We'll cover that with the head bins. What they can and can't do. One of the big things is how this is spread is through saliva and feces and deer unnaturally congregating in a certain area. That's why baiting and feeding deer in this county and most of the state is illegal, because that's helping to curb the spread of that disease. Because when those deer come in, they're licking your salt block or your middle block or eating your pile of corn that you're not supposed to have. They get that, and so the deer is sick. It can be sick for up to 2 years before it shows signs and symptoms of this. It's a long incubation period. So, the Game Commission kind of deterred all that stuff and made that illegal, pretty much to keep the health of the deer as best we can.
Yeah. Now,
they don't line up for vaccines like we do for flu shots, so we can't do anything for them.
Well, one of the things about chronic wasting disease is When a deer does start to show signs, they are very obvious signs, aren't they?
There is. A lot of times, because it can take 18 to 24 months for it to show a sign or symptoms. So a lot of times they become weak because it's a neurological disease, messes with their brain. So they become slow. So a lot of them get hit by a car because we road test all of our roadkill that get picked up, get tested. But yeah, when they're sick, if they've reached the end of that incubation period, they're very lethargic. They're kind of confused, almost look like a college kid walking down on a Wednesday night here in Indiana. And, they're very emaciated. They just don't look well. A lot of times we tell hunters, if you're hunting and you see a deer like that, you have a proper harvest tag, you can shoot that deer, call us, and we'll come take the deer, test it, and give you a replacement tag. That's one option. But again, these deer usually die before that happens because they become so weak, their immune systems are bad. So a lot of times they don't reach the full incubation period.
I'm sure you often get questions, particularly for deer that have it but aren't showing the signs yet. Can I eat that deer after I shoot it?
You can. So science has told us so far that it doesn't affect humans at all. Just cook your meat properly like you normally would, and it should be no issues. Again, with that incubation period, we've probably all shot deer and didn't know it had it or may not have it. Hunters that are in a disease management area can turn their deer in to get tested for your charge at our drop bins at some of the game lands. If you're outside of that area and you want your deer tested, you can put the head in with your tag, and they'll get back to you. But there is a small fee for that, I believe.
The program that you put on next Friday, the 13th, and again, it's at Blue Spruce Park at the Lodge. What are people going to learn? What are people going to see?
A lot of what we just talked about, but more in detail. Some tricks and tips how to mitigate some of the disease spread. Just really in depth of what it is, how it affects a deer. More focused on helping people stop the spread with the baiting. And then if you see the roadkill, there's a contracted agency that will come up and pick roadkill. So call it in because we test every one of those deer.
Yeah.
As long as it's viable, if it's been sitting there for a few days.
Yeah.
The piece we test is the brain and the lymph nodes in there. So if they're no good, then we can't test it. But we try to get everything tested.
And I'm sure you'll have plenty of photographs.
Tons of photographs, some videos. The agency is really good at collecting data. I mean, most of the agencies, science people, not so much game wardens. So they've got a ton of data that we can use to filter through. And we put a good class on for it. So a lot more information.
He's a game commission warden. He is J.D. Walker, going to put this program on next Friday the 13th. At what time?
7.
7 o'clock.
7. And no charge to come?
No.
Yeah, and no need to phone in reservations, just come.
No.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what we want folks to do, and be informed about what this disease is, what it does, how it affects animals. It doesn't cross to other animals.
It hasn't so far. Mostly cervage, just deer, elk, moose. There's other strains that cover other animals, but that's for us right now, just deer and the elk.
Yeah, and we really haven't gotten to the root of it, have we?
No, it's been around since the 60s. There's a ton of science behind it. They haven't been able to find a cure, but they've been testing some things, but no solid plan.
Yeah.
No way to mitigate it other than just keeping animals away from each other. Kind of like social distancing during COVID.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
We just can't make them wear that mask.
Can't make them wear a mask.
All right, so the program is going to happen next Friday the 13th at what time?
7.
7.
Yep.
For some reason, 9 stuck in there. At 7 o'clock, Blue Spruce Park. And everything that you want to know about chronic wasting disease, particular interest to hunters, of course, farmers as well. People will want to know about this, and so that's where you get the info, right from the warden's mouth. Huh, Bob?
Yes.
Terrific stuff. All right. Hey, you even brought us a hat. How about that? And
Operation
a koozie.
Game Thief. Yep.
Operation
That's our
Game Thief?
that's our way of reporting game violations anonymously. You can put your name in if you want to, but I'm one game warden. There's 3 of us in this county itself. We can't cover everywhere, so we always ask the public to be our eyes and ears. And let us know when there's game violations going on, because we do cover a lot of area, and there's not enough game wardens to map the whole area and do what we need to do. So Operation Game Thief was started. Websites, phone numbers, you name it.
Yeah. Operation Game Thief. The website is pgc.pa.gov. The phone number is 1-888-PGC-8001. It's a Game Commission program. Operation Game Thief. Thanks for the hat.
Thank you.
And the koozie.
Absolutely.
Bob, thanks, and good to see you again.
Good to be here.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. BoomerSports.com. 23 minutes after 9 o'clock. Need to get Erin Real and her Money Matters report in, and Boomer Sports is on the way on this Thursday morning. All right, Aaron, thank you. It is Indiana in the Morning, and it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 925 Boomer Sports, brought to you by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking.